I'm an Aries, but most of my partners were Virgos. Do you know why? No, I do not know why most of your partners were Virgos, because Aries is not compatible with Virgo. If you're an Aries, you need to be dating an Aquarius or a Gemini or a Sagittarius or a Leo. Those are the best bet for you. Not a Libra. So those are the best people for you. A Virgo, under no circumstances, is an ideal match for an Aries. Virgo's way too controlled for Aries, like, unless they fair demeanor. Aries is a wild child. Aries cannot be controlled, and all Virgo wants to do is control when in a love relationship. So I don't see those two matching at all. All right, next question. So who has the next question? Let me go back to see if I missed any of your questions already. Let's see. Finessed. I like your name. Super cool. It makes me think of that song. Ah, finesse. If I put in my business. It's an Afro hit from Nigeria. Ah, finesse. If I tell my business. I actually don't know the words. I'm making them up as I go. Ah, finesse. If I broke down my business. Na 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 na. Ah, finesse. If I broke down my business. It's a beautiful song. It's a lot of fun. Okay, I'm a Virgo and was with an Aries for 27 years. Was is a key word in that sentence, right? Because a Virgo does not belong with an Aries. That's just a headache. It's a headache for both parties. It's a headache for Virgo and it's a headache for Aries. When we're talking about love compatibility, we're trying to do what is the least headache of the headaches, okay? Let me tell you, love is a headache, okay? This is why Sagittarius, Capricorn, right, Aquarius, and Pisces are not good with love, like romantic love. Like once in a blue moon, something amazing happens and these people fall in love and it's magical. But by and large, these signs in general are not going to be good with love relationships. Because as you get closer towards the end of your spiritual life, which is Pisces, the spiritual realm becomes more important than the physical realm. Are you with me? Love, who loves you, who doesn't love you, having children, you know, all of these things, amassing wealth, all of these things are not important to these people. Not important at all. It's not that they don't need money to survive. It's that they understand the purpose of money is to survive. They don't care to be the most wealthy person in the world. They don't care to have 20 children. They don't care to have a marriage that lasts 30 years. They don't care about these things. What they care about is spiritual satisfaction. And what that looks like is peace of mind. They will devote themselves entirely to religion, to art, to science, to something higher than them, because what they care about is making the world a better place. That is their mission. When you get to be that old, spiritually, you transition from being focused on you and your selfish needs, your earthly needs, because let's talk about it. Love is not a requirement for life, okay? A lot of us act like, oh my God, I gotta be in love, I gotta be in love. Like, God bless you if you found a love that is filling your soul. God bless you if you found a love that is fulfilling you. If you found a love that is worth your time and your energy, because you know what? When we fall in love, we are trading our lives. We're giving our lives away, our time, our energy to somebody. God bless you if you found somebody that you're giving your life to who values your life and appreciates it and gives it back to you. Not everybody's that lucky, okay? And more importantly, not everybody needs it. So let's stop acting like getting married and having love and having kids is like the purpose of life. Okay? It's not. Virgo will tell you that. You can have a very fulfilling, loving, joyful life without ever having any of those things. Okay? When you get older spiritually, these things become less important. It's not that Sagittarius has a commitment issue. It's that Sagittarius does not value romantic love. It's not that important. A relationship with God is more important than a romantic relationship, because these four are aware of their mortality. They come into this life knowing they're dying. When they were very little, they were already thinking about dying. And they were already thinking about what kind of impact they want to leave on the world when they're dead. These are the thoughts that these four are obsessed with. Meanwhile, Aries over here is obsessed with like having power. And Taurus over here is obsessed with having all of the goods and the money that they can find. Gemini over here is obsessed with like learning as much information as possible and collecting all the tea. And Aquarius is literally trying to change the world. Do you see that? Different frequency. And that's not to shame those earlier signs. It is to say that the level of maturity dictates your priority. Your level of maturity dictates your priority. When you were 13 years old, 14 years old, 16 years old, 17 years old, falling in love, what you were looking for from love is very different from what you're looking for from love when you are 50. Okay? Sagittarius is solid 50 going to 60. Capricorn is 60 going to 70. Aquarius 70 to 80. Pisces 80 to 90. Very different life cycle. So it's not that we're cold, it's that we do not care about these things because we've already had these things. We've already enjoyed these things. We've already lived these lives. Because remember, all of us live multiple lives. We're all born as an Aries and we all die as a Pisces. And depending on how we perform, we get to come back as an Aries or elevate spiritually to another realm. This is why it's so important that we be committed to doing our healing work, because when we don't, we just keep coming back again and again and again and again, going over the same bullshit that we've gone over a million lifetimes and just refusing to learn spiritual lessons. We think this whole life is about us and our selfish needs, and that's just what we're going to focus on. And the universe keeps giving us crap because it's trying to teach us like, hey, you're not handling the things I'm giving you with care. You're not grateful enough for me. You're not appreciative enough for me. So now I'm going to start snatching things away from you. And when you get to be an old soul, you've had so much taken away from you, you understand what really matters are the things that can never be taken away. And that's love. And it starts with love for yourself. Because the people who do not love themselves can never, ever have a satisfying love relationship. So before we can even get to talking about love and romance and marriage and children, do you love yourself enough for those things? Are you worthy of those things? How do you demonstrate that you're worthy of those things? And if you're not worthy of those things, when those things are given to you, you will not find pleasure in them. Because the energetic vibration you're bringing to these things is debasing the quality of those things. God is giving you a top tier love partner. And what have you done? Created hell on earth in your home with this person, when this person was a literal blessing to your life. Whose fault is that? It's so fascinating to me every time I talk about the lucky zodiac signs like Libra, Taurus, Sagittarius, and one of these signs comes along and they're like, I'm not lucky, where's my luck? What have you done with all the other things God gave you? What have you done with all of the luck you already have? You have the ability to speak. What are you doing with it? Are you using your voice to uplift people, or are you using your voice to tear people down? You have the ability to see. What are you doing with your eyes? Are you looking at beautiful things so you can praise God? and see how loved you are, that God made all these beautiful things and made you because you are that dope? Or are you using your eyes to look at things you don't like so you can judge other people? What are you doing with the gifts that are already given to you? A person who is not responsible with the gifts that are given to them does not get more gifts. Why is that not common sense? That if you cannot handle the bare minimum as a loving parent, which is the universe, God, I'm not going to give you more. Why isn't that common sense for some of y'all? And you're asking me, where's your luck? What have you done with what was given to you? If you're only using your mouth to tear people down, no, I'm not giving you good things. You obviously don't know what your mouth was made for. It was not to gossip and tear people down, I promise you. You want good things, but you want to not be good. Make it make sense. Let's just use our common sense. If you want good love, you got to be a good lover. Right? Right. You think it's magic? You think you don't have to work. You could just be lazy and things just fall in your mouth. That's not how that works. The things that are keeping you from loving yourself deeply, which is why you're cruel to other humans, you need to heal those things. Because people who love themselves do not hate other humans. That's what it's about. It's about our own healing. Because it's only from that place that we can love others. If we do not love ourselves, there is no amount of love that a human being is going to be able to provide to us that will make our cup feel full. That's not how it works. It starts from the inside out, not outside in. Some of y'all got the direction wrong, and that's why you're miserable. And you keep asking, when are my blessings coming? When is the love of my life coming? Are you ready for the love of your life? Do you have the kind of love that the love of your life deserves? The way that you love, is that the way that the love of your life wants to be loved? The way that you love yourself. If you love somebody else the way that you love yourself, would that be satisfied? The way that you talk to yourself, the way that you treat yourself. If you treated somebody else that way and you talk to somebody else the way you talk to yourself, will they be satisfied? If the answer is no, then let's work on you. Because the shitty love you're giving to yourself, the other person has the right to refuse that. Do you understand? It all starts and ends with you. All of it. If you can be grateful in the little things, you get more. If you say thank you for the little things, you get more. But if your heart is so ungrateful that all you can do is look to see what that person isn't, what that person doesn't have, what that person will never be, guess what? You're going to be given more misery. Because clearly, misery is what makes your mouth and your heart sing. If you want a love that is pure, your heart needs to be pure. If you want a love that is real, you need to be real. If you want a love that is authentic, you cannot be two-faced. Do you see that? So we've got work to do. Okay? We've got work to do. Before we can get to other people, we've got work to do. Everybody deserves love. But self-love is God's love. That is the purest love you can find. It doesn't get more pure than that. Romantic love is never going to be as pure as self-love, because all of us are wounded and broken. So you cannot bring your brokenness, and I bring my brokenness, and you think we're going to come together and where our love is just going to be without problems. Not realistic. Our love is not going to be without problems because we're both wounded. But when we heal, it doesn't mean those wounds aren't there anymore. It means we have increased our awareness, our cognition, our emotional, spiritual intelligence. So when we are triggered, we can go, I react that way because when I was little, my mom used to do this thing that made me feel that way, and that's why I'm acting that way towards you. I'm sorry, baby. That's not your issue. That's my issue. I need to work on that. Do you see that? How many of you are willing to do that work? That's what being pure is about. It's about not wearing a mask. It's about not hiding your shit. It's about not pretending to be better than you are. It's about being a sincere, authentic, and decent human being with an honest and decent heart. That is what the love of your life deserves. So, are you ready for the love of your life? I just want you to think about that. Okay? So before we talk about who's compatible with me, I want you to think about whether your heart is ready for the love of your life. And if the way that you're currently loving yourself is adequate for another adult human being. Okay? I love y'all.
You can book your astrology reading at intuitivehealing.com. You can also watch videos at Intuitive Healing here on YouTube for Astrology 101 content. Listen to the Aquarius podcast on Spotify, as well as here on YouTube for your horoscope. If you're interested in astrology and love connections, you can visit at Styled Under Libra. And of course, for health and wellness and holistic healing, visit at Styled Under Virgo for all of your astrology content. Thanks so much for watching.